Drake May was easily the second best quarterback in the NFL this season. I still think it's malpractice to put him above Joe, Josh, Pat, or Lamar or Stafford. Like you can throw Drake May at 6. I won't bat an eye. I think Jayden Daniels is better. Jayden Daniels was better in the playoffs last year. Jayden Daniels played better against better defenses than Drake May has, but I can completely understand why you'd put Drake May above Jayden. And I am a Jayden guy, obviously a Drake May hater. I'm just trying to be as transparent, as unbiased as possible. And I feel like that's a fair stance on the subject. But unequivocally, I think anybody with real ball knowledge that watched the games and didn't just let these 4 weeks marinate, even though both of them played and one of them played significantly better in the playoffs. But like when you just put the numbers side by side, yeah, it looks like Drake May had a better season, but context is so important. And eye test is ultimately the final decider for me. And you can literally find you can literally type in Drake May snub. There'll be a montage of his best throw this season. Matthew Stafford MVP. There'll be a montage of his best throws this season. And Matthew Stafford's are just so much more impressive on like all three. Like literally so much more impressive. The only thing Drake May does better than Matthew Stafford is his mobility. That's literally it. So Matthew Stafford is the best QB in the league this year. Rightfully deserved MVP. Drake May was the second best quarterback. It shouldn't have been that close. The people that voted for Justin Herbert, what are we doing? I mean, I tried to play, I played devil's advocate, and when you look at the carry job Herbert did, he definitely warranted some second or fourth place votes. Definitely not second. May and Stafford were easily the most two valuable players to their team, but third or fourth, I wouldn't mind. A Herbert nod here. Come on, first. What are we doing? He did carry a lot in the regular season, and I feel like a lot of us forget that it's a regular season award as well. Herbert wasn't better than Stafford or May in the regular season. He just wasn't. He just really wasn't. You could argue he was better than Josh in the regular season because Josh did have a way easier schedule than Herbert did, and he only won 2 more games, and Josh really did punt on a few of the Bills' games this season. The game against the Dolphins, he was asked. The game against the Falcons, against the Texans. So you could argue Herbert was more valuable than Josh was, or he had a better year than Josh did. But giving Herbert a first place vote is obviously crazy. But I also think it's crazy that Drake May had one less vote than Stafford for first place votes. I think that's ridiculous. And I think the past few weeks in the NFL show that one thing is true, and that there is a real voting problem in the NFL. Whether it's in the Hall of Fame process, it's the AP voters, they need to switch something up here, okay? First of all, in my opinion, Stafford and May was never close. Whatever. Half the internet disagrees with me. That's fine. Justin Herbert getting a first place vote is ridiculous. Josh Allen getting first place votes is ridiculous. Second and third or fourth place votes, not even second, really third or fourth place votes, I agree. Trevor Lawrence was more valuable to his team than Justin Herbert was this year. You can argue it either however you want. Like Herbert didn't have as much help as Lawrence, but Lawrence was definitely the better quarterback down the stretch. Either way, the MVP voting was ridiculous. It's been ridiculous the past 3 seasons. I honestly don't think I've agreed with an MVP for the past 5. Like the year Rodgers won it and Brady led the NFL in yards and touchdowns. I thought that was crazy. He should have won an MVP that year. I thought Josh should have won it the year he had the most touchdowns in the league. I didn't mind Josh getting it last year as much as other people did, but I could totally see the argument for Lamar. My argument for Josh was he led the second best scoring offense in the NFL without a 1,000-yard receiver, 1,000-yard rusher. He carried that Bills team more than Lamar carried the Ravens, but Lamar's numbers were also ridiculous. He didn't turn the ball over at all. But a lot of those numbers came against the Giants in week 17 last year. The MVP has slowly become who plays the best football in December, which it didn't become that this year, or Drake May would have won it. So I guess it hasn't become that. But the narrative, the talking about it has become that. It's because May had a stinker against the Raiders in week 1, that doesn't matter because it's week 1, but he throws 5 touchdowns against the Jets practice squad in week 17, and all of a sudden it matters. So it is a regular season award. That 5 touchdown performance needs to matter as much as that stinker against the Raiders in week 1. Despite it being week 1, that was still part of the regular season, So that's just where my thought process comes to the voting fatigue, to the AP voters. I think they're all over the place. I think we need some new ones, obviously. The year that Rodgers didn't get a unanimous MVP, one voter voted for or he was just a Bears fan. I forget who he voted for, but it wasn't Rodgers, and Rodgers was one vote away from unanimous MVP. There should be no bias on. Like, I don't think I should ever be allowed to vote on the MVP because I would have never voted for Tom Brady when he was on the Patriots. I would never vote for Drake May. Like, I shouldn't be allowed to vote. Like, a guy like me who's got so much emotional, who gets not emotional, but is very passionate about his team and about the rivalry that is New York City and Boston. Like, I should never be allowed to vote on anything pertaining to MVP, AP, Hall of Fame, whatever, because of my biases. And that needs to be held same with these other voters that are clearly biased, clearly have allegiances, or are just plain up fucking stupid and trying to be different, giving Justin Herbert a first place MVP vote, which is crazy to me. And I understand Herbert was valuable, but I don't know how you could logically come to that conclusion in your head that one, in my brain, that anybody was more valuable in the end, and anybody was better than Matthew Stafford in the league this year. I don't know how you could get to that conclusion. Number one. Number two, I don't know how you could get to any other conclusion that Drake May wasn't the second best player in the league either. Like, it was clear 1 and 2 in my eyes. And then you have Herbert. You could argue Herbert wasn't even a top 4 QB in the league this year with the way Trevor Lawrence finished the year. Like, I don't know. It's a weird year. But overall, Drake May's season, if you don't have him in your top 10, you're a fucking idiot. That's, as a Jets fan, I'm saying that. If you don't have Drake May in your top 10, you're a fucking idiot. I also think if you have him in your top 5, you're just as stupid, because there's no way Drake May is better than Stafford, Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Burrow. You can't put him over any of those guys yet. You just can't. I'm not saying for the future. Obviously, you'd rather have Drake May on your team for the next 10 years than Stafford, right? But I'm talking about one season next year. Pick your best 5, 6 QBs. I think there's easily 5 ahead of Drake May. Me personally, I'm still taking Daniels. I think there could be arguments for guys like Dak, Hurts. I almost said Purdy, but I don't want to say Purdy. But there's arguments there. But if you have Drake May at 6, I won't crucify you for it. That's where I've come to. That's the conclusion I've come to